Jomapel Angel Tony Asa, Prince of the Sun, and tonight we are at Coffee City. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we are having a very, very significant person in the building. Someone who is gonna shake up the tables. With me is none other than Victor Kakama. He is a music director. He is a technical director of Omnitech. He is a CTO of Zeno. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a software engineer, and above all, the big man is a pastor. Why not introduce this big man, Victor? Yes, Victor.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Wow, you've given me very many titles.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the warm introduction.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Victor doesn't. I've never heard of Victor in the Bible. Why do you have Victor? Is there a Victor in the Bible even?
You see, there is no Victor in the Bible because everyone in the Bible is Victor. So really, he's a victor. Even you, how many times do you go in church and they say, "Shout, I'm a victor"?
Very many
and
times.
Everyone is shouting. Yeah, so we are all victors, really.
Okay. So when your parents were giving the name Victor, they didn't think of a church person. Like most times they say, they look at a saint, maybe Saint Anthony, maybe they say Joshua, they say James, they say Peter, Paul, Michael. Why Victor? I need to be a pastor.
My parents named me. I was born at a time when the then NRA rebels had captured our district.
Yeah.
So it was guarded. So they said, this boy is born in victory.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a smart one. I didn't see it coming. Fine. Then that's how you survived, right? But they didn't call you Moses because Moses escaped when there was a time for fighting like that.
Yeah, they were not so religious, by the way. I think they just looked at it from that angle of the victory of the group. And you know, my father was also in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also a bush hero.
That means you might become the CEO of Uganda Airlines soon.
No. Yeah, well, you never know in life.
Because you know those who fought those times, they're starting to reap. Their children are starting to reap.
They're starting to reap, or they are... Anyway, let me not go that side.
Okay, before we go there, Victor, let me first tackle other things before we come to the pastoral work and all that. So you are a CTO Zeno. What is Zeno? And who is a CTO?
So a CTO, CTO is an acronym which means Chief Technology Officer.
Okay.
Usually these are people who head software engineering or software development team. Now Zeno is a fund manager and an investment advisor. We provide electronic investment solutions where people invest their money. It's a very fast-growing startup. Okay. We just made 5 years, by the way, last week.
Wow.
And we now have over 30,000 clients.
Oh la la! You give loans?
No, it's investment. We haven't gone into loans.
What's investment?
Investment, you make your money grow. You know, many times we like keeping money, so we support circles.
But it's not a circle.
It's not a circle. So fund management is a new idea, I think. Actually, there are fund managers in this country, but they have been dealing with big institutions. Many times when you put your money in the bank, for you, as you think your money is sitting, the bank is making it grow. So what they do, some of those banks put their money in the investment management firms. So it grows. By the time you come back, they have made off their profit. But for us, we are saying you don't need your money to sit in the bank. You can also put the money. That's why we came to, we call it Omuntu Wawansi. So that if you have your 10K, you can just drop it there, and after some time you pick it with interest. Okay. Yes.
How can someone join that?
We are on mobile money, MTN, Airtel. On MTN it is *165, *5, *7. Then you'll see 7. Then you see a menu, or you can go on our website, which is myzeno.com. Okay. Yes.
It's on Google Play.
Google Play, iOS. Okay. This is a fast-growing startup. Wow. Think of anything it can have. It is, and we're expanding it even to other markets.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Omnitech. Tell me about Omnitech. You're a technical director of
Yes,
Omnitech.
Omnitech is a company we started. Omni, O-M-N-I, means open mind, new ideas.
Wow.
So we always say that once you open up your mind, usually ideas come.
Not omniscient. Or omnipotent.
Not really.
Okay.
But it's about being open. And like you have had a most say, Pastor, and the same concept you are telling people, come on, you have to open up your mind. You cannot stick to the past things. The world is moving very fast. So Omnitech, we exist to simplify life through technology.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. And you're a software engineer as well.
Yep. All those things, I'm doing them because I'm a software engineer. I also do mentoring. I mentor young software engineers into become meaningful and senior engineers.
Okay. So you do AI?
Yes. Artificial intelligence, yeah, we can do it.
Okay. Wow. And finally, you're a music director. Huh?
Yeah, very
How interesting is it to be a music director?
Yeah. You know, music, music is one of the things. Have you ever imagined the world without music?
No, I've never.
It is even impossible. Music is so powerful that, you know, when you go in cultures where they rear cows, you know that actually when you are milking, they always play those flutes. So it's not only a few human beings who enjoy music, even animals enjoy music.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they do.
Did you say cows play flutes?
No, people play flute. Then the cows feel at peace.
And birds sing in the morning those amazing songs.
Music is godly.
It's food to the soul.
Yeah, so I have a band, we call it Connect Worship Experience. It's a gospel band, but I'm open to all music as long as it is decent.
You mean you can direct Shiba?
As long as she's singing decent music.
What is decent music?
I divide the music into two. There is spiritual music.
Yes.
And there is what sometimes is called contemporary music. So spiritual music is not only gospel music. Spiritual music is both Christian music and demonic music.
Okay.
Because because people misuse this word gospel. The word gospel means good news. Now, I'm sorry to say, but if I sing, let's say, a song like Chikibombe,
yes,
it's not a gospel song.
Yes.
You get? But
it plays in the churches.
It's contemporary. That's what I'm saying. There is, of course, a religion about music, but there are people who are not necessarily Christians who play good music. Because even not all your teachers were born again.
Can you give examples of people who are not Christians who play good music?
I think most of these singers, you know, Uganda is a religious country. Most of these singers, once in a while, like this man who is now an MP, who sang Abitebi Kute, Dr. Hildeman. Bobby Wine has sang about Urute Utwaura. That you see, music, it is just a form of communication. If you can speak, then you can sing.
Okay.
So if you can speak and how come when people are speaking we don't segregate? You don't say, don't listen to Chiza Besije, he's not born again. If you can, it's okay to listen to a nanny born again, then it means it is also okay to listen to them singing.
Okay.
So the difference comes in the content. You get?
Okay.
Because something obscene, it doesn't matter who sings it. We even have Christians who do things which don't live to the standards. So me personally, I judge music from that angle. If it is Christian music, is it godly or it is demonic? If it is contemporary, is it good content?
Okay.
Because if I sing about nature and I say like this lady Katatumba who sang about let's go green. You cannot tell me that is a devil's song. No.
That's good music.
That if you cannot listen to that song, then you shouldn't also listen to your history teacher.
Wait, so Victor, before we go far, what would you consider demonic music?
Demonic music is...
That Christians don't follow it. Yes. What would you consider demonic music?
So demonic music is music which is directed to demonic worship. So, like at the heart of it all, music is content. So if I sing a song there are those songs they sing in shrines. Someone sings Jaja Mukasa, what, those things. So you cannot just go and start singing that song. Then you'll be worshipping Jaja Mukasa. You get? So to me, that is demonic music. Demonic music is not chameleon singing a song like Tubonga Nawe. Tubonga Nawe, you know those things. I'm not so much into politics, but I'm giving an example. Things like Echitibwa cha Buganda. Where do you put it? Is it a gospel song? But is it a secular song? So music should be judged according to content. Yes.
So many people have criticized Pastor Wilson Bugembe for going to perform in clubs, in where there are secular musicians. What's your take about that?
I think me personally, I tend to believe that in life should be lived by personal conviction.
Yes.
What matters, I have no problem with the Pastor Wilson Bugembe going to sing whatever he sings. I think the issue is what does he do when he's there? You get? So, there is a new concept of belief we are bringing and telling people you cannot just be religious aimlessly. We must go back and start using our brains and think through things. Don't just shout at someone, because I can go to sing. People say Bugembe was in the bar. Singing. Then the same people were in the bar presenting a project. You get? It's all about forms of communication. If for you, it is okay to go, let's say, to Sheraton and present a project in IT to guys who have different, and after you go for barbecue and all those things, it's also okay with the other person. So I think the most important thing in life is, what do you do when you're there? Does Wilson Bugembe go there and then he conforms to whatever he finds there? The few videos I've watched when he's there, he keeps his state. He still maintains he's a born again, even people know him. And
he sings worship songs.
He sings worship songs and people sing along. And may I always tell people, everyone has a purpose. And we cannot all be together like the same way. People have different purposes in life. Someone has a passion of reaching out to the unreached. Another one has a passion of reaching out to another category. So instead of, and it has worked for him. So let God be the judge.
Okay.
I think for us, we should mind about how is someone living. Are you living right? Because the people are not going to bars, but they are living wrongly. So it's not, Christianity is not an act.
So you accept people who have bars for churches during the week and churches on the weekend?
Who do what?
There are people who, their churches are bars during the week. And at night, it's having an overnight. On the weekend, it's having a church.
There are venues, different venues. So
is that a dirty venue or it is cleansed?
No,
when you come to church?
A place cannot be dirty. You get? And like I told you, we are here to challenge those religious views that don't make sense. A place is not dirty. The people in the place are dirty.
Okay.
You get?
So it's okay to have a church service in
But you move in a taxi. Is a taxi full of holy people only?
There are different types of people.
Yes, there are different types of people. Yes. So I used to be in a place where like the church the pastor used to say that they cannot hire out church sound because they are going to play secular music through the speakers. You get? But me, I believe it's not about the sound. It's about the same thing where people say, don't sing this song because it was sung by maybe a person who has not tried. No. God judges an individual. If you want to relate with God at a deeper level, you need to stop seeing a group and start seeing individuals and encourage people to evaluate themselves. There are people who are comfortable because they are part of a group that is public and acceptable. But you know, a group can be public and acceptable when you who is in that group is not acceptable before God. So I keep telling people you need to look at yourself as an individual. If you can live right, everything around you will be right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, moving quickly, what happens in churches nowadays? You see churches where people are dressing so indecently, but the pastors do not stop that. Why? You find different ways of body exposure in the church and all that. What's your take on that with those churches?
You see, a church is not a controlling space. For us as preachers, our mandate is to minister the truth. By the way, do you know that in the Bible, have you ever found in the Bible where like someone is putting an altar call?
No.
Because people, you preach out the truth, and then people make decisions. So me, when I'm in a church, of course we have now the leaders. You try to speak to them to be decent. But you cannot control everyone.
Okay.
People come with different issues at different levels of growth. And we're expected to bring them closer, not to take them away.
So, Victor, is there a dress code, an ethical dress code that is supposed to be used in the church?
Do you want me to take you deeper?
No problem. Tell me.
Do you know at the beginning, God created a man when he was naked?
Tell me
You
more.
see, dress code is defined by culture.
So if someone came to church naked, there's no problem?
No, I'm getting somewhere. There's something I'm driving you to. That
Oh, man,
dress
this is
code,
interesting.
yes.
Okay.
Dress code are cultural things. What you are putting on today, at one time it was indecent.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, when we were young, like there are churches which still don't like men who put on dreadlocks and other things. And I used to tell them, I cannot base by someone on that because what is not acceptable today will be acceptable tomorrow. Okay. And you eat your words. You get? So, like, I bring you back to the fact that Christianity is at individual conscience. Me, I tell people, if you think being naked is okay, go to church. If you are sure you think it is okay in your mind. Because you see, God is not going with, sometimes you want to live around the perceptions. But people know the truth. But we always think people don't know the truth.
People know the truth. And they
you
know
think
what
when someone puts on a short skirt, they don't know that it's short?
They know.
They know. So may I tell people, when you wake up and you are dressing the way you dress, usually your conscience tells you. If you think it is right, do it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So if you think it's right to put on a short skirt and sit next to the pastor in the pulpit praying, and then the legs, the brown thighs are showing, it's okay.
If you think it is okay, then you'll be judged. But of course, I cannot rule out the fact that I told you that fashion is a cultural norm. In this world, it's not only a church that governs the way of living. There are also society values. Now, society values have nothing to do with God or what. It's just that it is an acceptable way of doing things. Because now when you go to, there are cultures where they almost dress like naked. But for them, they are okay. So because of that, you cannot universally say that something is bad. Because then you put yourself in a space of contradiction. Then you'll say, okay, putting on this is wrong. Then they'll show you that this culture in this country, they only put on lesus. Men, you just dress and put on a short. Before the whites came and the colonialists, all of us used to put on these things, but no one was complaining. So there is a space where you're supposed to follow cultural norms. But me, I believe that if we let everyone move by conviction, because I think we need to teach people to listen to God and also conviction, because people change with time. That's what I tell people. Neither is God. Where did Jesus used to meet prostitutes. When did you hear Jesus telling them, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because the rules don't change people.
He used to encourage them?
No, for him, he was concerned about his mission. It's like they normally say that if you want to raise children, stopping them to do things, by the way, is not the best way.
But accepting them to do it, you'll regret later.
Show them the right thing to do. I didn't say accept or stop. Show them the right thing to do. When you're in church, preach the right thing. When someone doesn't do it today, tomorrow preach the right thing, because naturally people are, by the way, there is that disobedience nature in people. That actually what you normally stop, people always want to do it. If you want to see that, write a poster and say, don't read, and put a few things. Everyone will read it.
Everyone will read that.
You get?
Okay.
But
now,
yes.
Let's go ahead. Nowadays, churches have been seen as businesses by many people.
But churches are businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the question is, what is a business?
Perfect. Now, I'm coming. Now you've already accepted that.
Yes.
There are many churches that are collecting money from their flock. Yes. And it is said many pastors and many leaders are getting rich in the expense of their flock. What is your comment about churches that are collecting money, but you find that their people remain the same?
I think the key word you say here is at the expense. Getting rich is okay, because the common sense will tell you cannot be leading. First of all, even without leading, if you have 10 rich guys, you will be rich, whether you are leading them or not. Imagine the top 10 rich men of this country are your friends. You'll automatically be rich.
Okay.
If you're a pastor and you are leading a flock that is empowered and guys are working, they are giving, you'll definitely be rich. The problem we are having is that word you have said, at the expense. And we are having people who are manipulating people. Like, you find church pastors don't want to be accountable. Like, they don't manage books. Recently, the government wanted to audit churches. You saw how the pastors were fighting. But me, I was like, what are you hiding? Let the government, I'm a pastor, let the government come and audit. We have our audited books. You get, but you see, because many pastors are mismanaging books, they are using money for their own things. So you find that they are misleading the congregation into doing things, giving their properties and all those things. So you find that, that's where the problem is. That now that becomes bad.
Okay.
Because you should not rise at the expense of another person.
Okay.
Whether you're a pastor, whether you're a businessman, we only look at pastors. There are also businessmen out there. If someone does for a project, you get 500 million and you're giving him 500,000. You are worse than the pastor, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's leave those words.
Yes.
Now, there are pastors, again, who have been trending on social media. Someone enters into a drum and gets water and gives people a drink, you'll get healed. Another one is caning the followers, you'll get healed. Another one is doing all sorts of immoral. Why? Is that a cult, or that's how some miracles happen?
Now, for that one, really, it's up to the followers. You see, like I told you, faith is an individual thing.
Okay.
If a pastor can allow to cane you, you see, nature doesn't lie. If you're a fool, you reap the fruits of foolishness.
That pastor who caned the flock.
The problem is not the pastor, the problem is the flock. Why do you allow to be caned?
What if he says that's how a miracle will happen?
Yes, if you are foolish, you will believe. You see, like these guys who are always giving.
But Jesus caned people.
No, Jesus caned. Did he cane people?
Yeah?
He caned people in the temple.
Yes,
that's why I told you that
so
the caning.
Says, if I cane you, I'll cast demons away from you. So what's the problem?
No, you see, Jesus didn't get the permission from people to be caned. You know, Jesus caned people and they crucified him. You get. So, but this was couldn't allow to be caned. They caned people and they crucified him. These ones, they are caned.
And they are allowed.
And they are happy. But anyway, the whole point is Jesus had a reason. I keep telling you about individualism. Me, I preach individualism. Whatever you do, you should have a reason why you are doing it. Jesus had his reasons why he caned people. That pastor had his reasons why he caned those people. Now the people also have their reasons why they accepted. You get? So me, I think every man should make his own judgment. If you think you deserve to be caned, it's okay.
Go and be caned.
Yes, but if you think you don't need to be caned. But I don't know that you get my point.
I get your point.
My point is that, faith is a little bit, it's not lived on a manual, that this is how life should live. What do you say about Jesus, who spat on the ground in the dust and then he rubbed it on a man's face? If he was in today's world, that would be the greatest cult on earth. But
now there's someone who people kiss his shoes. What do you say about that?
So at the end of the day, if you are okay with kissing them, go and kiss them.
It's okay.
If you have that revelation. You see, when Jesus was walking to to Jerusalem. People were putting their clothes and the donkey was stepping on them. It didn't make sense. That's why I keep saying, I think when we come to faith, everyone should move by their conviction. Me personally, you can't cane me really. I don't think I have reached
Would you fight a pastor if he wanted to cane you? Would you fight
why
him?
would I be there? Why would I be? But and also,
what if you're in a desperate mode and you're sick and ailing and if you're caned, that's the only way you'll get healed? Would you refuse?
But I've also discovered there is a difference between people who go to school and those who don't go to school. The reason why we go to school is that we may really get enlightened. And I've discovered some of these things we see are a result of poverty. Because when you hear people promising you free things and everyone thinks everything is free, I think when I look at such a case as like a pastor caning people, I think there is a bigger problem than the caning. Sometimes, do you discover, by the way, that we Pentecostals, most of the times, the greatest sermons that will get you money is sermons that confront fear and poverty.
Yes, of course.
Because people are poor. But you know, some of these sermons, when you preach them, people are rich, they don't make sense. So I still go back that we as pastors who, believe, by the way, you may also think you believe in right when actually you're also wrong. But my conviction is that we need to empower believers. We need to encourage people to think independently. Church cannot be a controlling space also where we are controlling people and they cannot think outside the box. Yes.
So as we wind up, I want to ask, if you're not a pastor, what would you be doing? What would you do if you're not a pastor?
That's a very hard question from my context.
Of course.
Because I'm not a pastor by career. You get? I even don't believe in being a pastor by career.
Are you sure?
That's
then
why
why are you a pastor?
That's why issues like you're talking about start coming. You know, if you know your own source of income comes from the flock, you'll have to find ways of manipulating it and fighting for that money. Imagine all of you are getting money from the believers. You'll have to find reasons of making sure that the biggest chunk goes to you.
Okay.
But you see, for us, our concept, by the church I go to is called Lift Up Jesus Church, Kampala.
Okay.
For us, our context is that church should be a community where you empower one another. Okay. The pastor, even as you lead people, you should also do other things. Okay. Because you are not, if you don't have a church which has grown so big that church can grow to an extent where it becomes a full-time job. Then there you need to be paid. Okay. But also you should follow the same recruitment policies of employment. Then if church is not big, you should also work and do other things and also be a contributor in the community so that you are not fighting for the few resources. Okay. And you start threatening people, if you don't bring your money, God will curse you. No. You get. Okay. So that's why I tell people, believers, we should be a community. We should try to impact one another. Okay. We should try to grow together. Okay. And by the way, if churches realized the importance of community, even the governments would fear us. Imagine all the believers in this country decided to vote for the same people. I mean, the president, the caucus would be on Sunday. Okay, Victor, let me ask you. Who in the Bible would you like to meet face to face if you had a chance? Wow. In the Bible, if I had a chance... Apart from Jesus? I think I would want to meet David. David? Yes. King David? Oh, maybe, yeah, King David. King David. I wanted to say Solomon, but no, David. King David? Yes. And then, will clothes be left behind during the rapture? Clothes? When the rapture occurs, will clothes be left behind? I wouldn't really waste my time thinking about that. You don't believe because whether the clothes are left or not, I think the big thing here is the rapture. It's like people asking where was God before he existed. Whether you get to know that or not. But what is the rapture even? Yes. In 1 minute. So the rapture is a time where we shall be, those who will be alive by then, will be carried away. By who? By God.
How?
They will, I can say, maybe disappear. They
How
will
will
be
they carried
transfigured.
away? Now, how shall is the rapture the same as Judgment Day?
No. So, by the way, in the Bible, necessarily the word rapture is not there. It's, I think it was got, there's a Greek word, I think something like rapio. But the Bible says on that day we shall be caught up with Christ. You see, there is, like I was telling you, you live in a mortal body. But when you become immortal, then heaven is not in the sky. Sometimes when people ask people where is heaven, they look up. Yes.
Is it down?
It's a place of no limitation. You get? Right now you are limited because of the state you are in your mortal body, but a time will come when you'll be transfigured. And the Bible says we shall be caught up in space with Christ in the heavens. So there are two times. There is the rapture, then there's the period of tribulation, and then when Christ comes on the new earth. You know, this earth will be rolled away, and then there will be a new earth and a new heaven, where we shall reign with Christ. But before that, the believers who will be alive at that time will be caught up. Will be caught up with Christ.
Okay.
And they will be raptured. That's why the Bible says on that day, two people will be in the bed, one will live. Two people will be, you are walking, you know, people have acted those things. You are just walking, you look on the side, your friend has left you.
So is that Judgment Day also?
No, Judgment Day, and there are also different judgments in the Bible. There is the judgment of the believers and there is the judgment of the sinners. You know, even as believers shall be judged, where the Bible says our works. You know, you can be when you are a very big man on earth, but our works shall also be judged. And sometimes I imagine at that time, can see someone you enter when you have a lot of works and you're very heavy, and the works will be passed through fire, and you come out when you are just bones. So, but there is also a time when the world will be judged, and then the believers will be judged. You know, the Bible says that there are those who will shine like stars. So we are not going to be equal in heaven.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and finally, is there life after death?
Definitely.
Are you sure? After dying, there is another life?
By the way, even without going far, it is a simple question of life after death. Because it doesn't, it's only that you think about your life. Who is Victor? Have you ever asked yourself that question? When someone dies, they say, we are taking the body of so and so, the body of John. So where is John? Why don't they say we are taking John to the grave? They say we are taking the body of John.
Because that's how English says it.
So who is John?
That body is John.
They say the body of John. You see, the house of John can't be John.
Now, what do you say if you don't say the body of John? What I say?
No, they are trying to show you that John is a different person who was dwelling in the body. And the Bible says that when a man dies, his soul goes back to the Maker. So there is life after death. Actually today when we die, we are just sleeping. Then at that time after rapture, those who are living will be caught up and the dead will resurrect.
That means if I had my ex in the world and then she died and I died, we shall meet in a new world and begin from there.
You see, you know, people normally say, but I think this is going to be like people normally say, till we meet again in glory. All those things are wishful thinkings. You know, the Pharisees asked Jesus such a question. If I'm married to 7 women, on resurrection day, whose wife will it be? And Jesus told them, in resurrection, we shall all be in communion with God. There will no longer be communion with your wife. No, it will be communion. That's what I'm telling you, Christianity is an individual affair. And we should start living it today. That when you die, you resurrect, you'll be having fellowship, personal unity with God. Yes. Okay. So whether you have your ex,
I'll meet her there.
If she's born again,
we might meet
the Bible doesn't talk about meeting because the Pharisees wanted to know, will I meet this woman there? They also asked that same question. If this woman has been married to 4 people, when we reach in heaven and we meet, I just told them that is, forget about that. In heaven, the focus will not be about who your ex was. In heaven, the focus will not be in the house you left on earth. in heaven, it will be communion with God. The focus in heaven is God,
Okay.
not your girlfriend who hurt you on your earth.
Oh my God.
Isn't it interesting?
Very sad. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Pastor Kakama Victor, we've come to the end of this show. But I'm just going to give you just 1 minute. Look direct into your camera and give your closing remarks and words of wisdom to the people who are watching. Then we can close.
First of all, it's been a pleasure being. I was already getting charged up by the discussion. You know, when you learn to live, when you experience God, and it is no longer religion, it's an affair. It's an enjoyable thing altogether. What I want to encourage believers out there, mostly in this city, is that you need to experience God yourself. If you think the man of God is going to experience God for you, you are just going to be listening to stories. When actually you have access. I tell believers, the day you experience God as a person, it is going to change the way you see life. It is going to change the way you see things. It is going to change the way you walk. To change even the way you worship. So take a moment, seek God for yourself, and you'll find Him. Thank you so much. And
It's a pleasure.
yes.
Thank you very much, Pastor Kakama Victor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is My Star with Asa, and this is Coffee City. We've been just having very big words of wisdom. If you say you haven't learned, definitely you're lying. My name is Angel Tony Asa, Prince of the Sun, and I have the honors to close this show till we meet again in the rapture. Ciao, adios, I'm done.